It was May 19th on the morning of my flight. I woke up to eat breakfast and say my temporary goodbyes to the people in my home. I packed my stuff the night before, so I was ready to go and head straight to Lagarda. Traveling via plane isn't the norm here. Unlike in the US, where it's normal to study in a different state and take a plane back to your state, and it would still be affordable. So today was really special. Not only was I traveling without a guardian, I was with the love of my life. We arrived 4 hours early. The airline required us to check in at the airport to check travel documents. We had to go through immigration as well. So now we just have to wait. In the meantime, we bought drinks. We also got some snacks while waiting and watched the sunset at the boarding gate. And she helped me put my temporary tattoos on. Finally, we boarded our plane to Singapore, and we set ourselves up for the next 3 to 4 hours. And I called my dad before we took off. Interestingly enough, the name Singapore was derived from the Malay and Sanskrit words Simha, or lion, and Pura, meaning city. It honors the legendary Sumatran prince who established settlement there after spotting what he believed to be a lion. A fitting legend considering the history of the country itself. From 1963 to 1965, Singapore was a state of Malaysia. However, there was political tension between them. The federal government of Kuala Lumpur advocated for policies protecting the economic and political standing of the ethnic Malay majority. But Singapore's leadership, led by Lee Kuan Yew, pushed for a Malaysian Malaysia based on non-communal meritocracy and racial equality. They couldn't agree on terms of a free market and frequently argued over federal taxes and financial contributions. The ruling parties of both territories started challenging each other in elections. Ethnic tensions grew, resulting in the 1964 race riots, which tallied over 21 to 23 deaths. After being expelled from Malaysia, Singapore was on the brink of death. Most of Singapore's waters, food supply, and other essentials came from Malaysia. Being expelled by Malaysia wasn't disconnection, but an execution. Singapore was destined to die. But Lion City refused death. We arrived at the airport about an hour earlier than we expected. We got our Visa cards and some US dollars, and we exchanged it for some of Southeast Asia's strongest currency. And we were headed down to our hotel in Geylang Road, which is apparently Singapore's most famous red light district. She and I haven't ate dinner. Thankfully, her beautiful titas came down to meet us, and we had dinner, and I tried some authentic Indian food at a local Indian restaurant. I've never tried authentic Indian food, and it had everything I loved, from grease to veggies to meat. And they served a sauce on top of a cucumber, which I think was hot sauce, and I loved that flavor. This was an overall 10 out of 10. We stayed in Hotel 81 Joy in Geylang Road. Although it was a red light district, I didn't see anyone conducting explicit behavior, even at this time of night. I loved that our hotel was in this area because this place was so rich in diversity and culture, and it was honestly very peaceful and quiet despite the busyness of the area. Yeah.
Ano adult boy?
Morning came, and she and I went down to buy ourselves breakfast at a local 7-Eleven, while her titas got themselves ready before we all head out to Sentosa. What I should have expected from this trip was that there would be an insane amount of walking. We didn't find a lot of elevators, but we didn't really care. Everywhere we walked was beautiful. While walking, we spotted a nearby Lego store, so I definitely had to go in there. Inside the store, there was this mini Lego world where you had to find certain minifigures, and you can see she over here struggling. The store showcased a lot of art that told the story of Singapore, of its humble beginnings as a small jungle-ridden swamp to the making of the Merlion. There was also this mosaic maker, Lego mosaic maker, mosaic, I don't fucking know. But I promised myself the next time that I go to Singapore, I'm getting Shia and I, my mom and I, a Lego portrait. There was a ton of these orange-beaked crows everywhere in Singapore. These look so fascinating and so funny, and I've never seen these anywhere in the world. While I was taking a video of the Universal Globe, this random guy came up to me with a Kodak Charmera, and that's one of the coolest interactions I've had while on this trip. But there's many more to come.